Welcome to Bay Path University's recorded information session for the master's programs in early childhood education and elementary education. My name is Hannah Shamdosian, Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions, and joining me is Dr. Jennifer Stratton, who is the Program Director for both of the programs. We're excited to share an overview of these programs, including curriculum, licensure pathways, fieldwork experiences, and the support available to our graduate students. We'll also discuss the admissions process, program flexibility, and how Bay Path prepares educators to make a meaningful impact in today's classrooms. Whether you are beginning your journey in education or advancing your professional goals, we're glad you're here and look forward to helping you learn more about what makes these programs at Bay Path University unique. Let's get started. Some information about Bay Path is that Bay Path was established in 1897 and since then has been preparing students for success in a constantly changing world. We have campuses in Longmeadow and East Longmeadow, as well as our strong online platform. We currently have a student body of over 3,300 students and with more than 23,000 alumni worldwide. And we are accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education. At Bay Path University, our mission is to empower you not just as a student, but as a whole person preparing for a meaningful career in life. So, why choose Bay Path? First, we're flexible and accessible, whether you're balancing work, family, or other responsibilities. Our programs are designed to meet you where you are with online, hybrid, and on-campus options that fit your schedule. Second, you'll find a truly supportive faculty and staff from admissions to academic advising, and you're never just a number. We're here to guide you every step of the way, cheering you on and helping you succeed. Third, Bay Path is home to an engaging and diverse community. You'll learn alongside students from all walks of life, gaining perspectives that broaden your thinking and enrich your experience. Fourth, we believe in an innovative approach to learning. Our curriculum goes beyond the traditional, using real-world projects, technology, and active learning strategies that help keep you engaged and challenged. And finally, what you'll learn here is immediately applicable. Whether you're entering the workforce or advancing in your career, our programs are built to give you skills you can use from day one. At Bay Path, you're not just preparing for a job, you're preparing for a purpose. At this time, I'd like to welcome Dr. Jennifer Stratton to the presentation. Welcome, Dr. Stratton.
Hi, Hannah. Thank you so much for that introduction. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for wanting to learn more about our education programs at Bay Path University. I want to tell you some of the things we have in place for you for student success. One is mentoring. You'll be mentored by myself, other advisors, your professors, and the many alumni in our network. There are tutoring available if some of you are just coming from undergraduate or returning from being in the workplace for a while. We have many supports for you. One is our tutoring center, all available via Zoom online. You can make an appointment at what's convenient for you outside of your work hours and get the support in reading, writing, or test preparations. We also have a fully accessible library, once again, all online services in many hours of the day or evening. Finally, career services and development. We have a whole team of people who are ready to support you as you build your resume, your professional network, reach out to conferences, alumni, and just figuring out what your next steps are in your career. The support's there for you. And then even along as you advance in your career or decide to make a pivot, you can always come back. It is a lifelong opportunity to work with our Career Center team. Next slide, please, Hannah. So let me tell you a little bit about our programs. We have a Master's of Education, Early Childhood Education, and Elementary Education. For early childhood, those are educators wanting to work with children in pre-K to second grade. So we're talking about 3-year-olds to about 8-year-olds. Then we also have elementary education, which is working with first grade through sixth grade. I do want to mention that the first grade through the sixth grade in some districts is in middle school. So some of you, if that is a grade you want to look into, you could work in a middle school setting, even though it's sixth grade. An elementary license. So I just wanted to mention that. We have 2 options. We have our initial licensure, or actually 3 options. Initial licensure, professional licensure. So that means you already have your license, you've been teaching, and you want to return to advance your license to that professional level. And then we also have the non-licensure, those of you who are seeking to take the graduate level studies, but are not seeking license within the state of Massachusetts. Those each are 39 credits, and they're broken down into different sets. So you take 9 courses in the elementary and early childhood for the initial licensure, and then you have an elective course. You take the pre-practicum and practicum, and then the seminar, so that the practicum is 9 credits. The professional license is actually just a few courses, but 4 courses within a core set of classes, and then the rest are electives. So it's a wonderful way to think about how you want to advance your professional career, and you can kind of concentrate them in English as a second language, special education, reading courses. We have really strong programs across those 3 areas. And finally, just want to mention that we have a very flexible start. So you can start fall, spring, or in the summer. Our courses are all delivered online, but some of them are synchronous, meaning that there will be a Zoom meeting. So you are going in, usually they're in the evening. So after work time, you'll meet once a week via Zoom. And many of our courses are also asynchronous, so taking you through that full semester where you're working through the course independently, but there's always a professor, and you do have a learning community where you'll do discussion posts and engage with learning with others. But it is all online. Next slide, Hannah. I do want to talk about the MTELs. So those of you who are seeking initial licensure will need to pass the MTELs, but great news. We have a wonderful, really robust support system. So we actually have an MTEL coach, which is free of charge. We offer many workshops throughout the year based on the timing of the exams. Right now, so many of you probably know the state is doing a pilot program regarding waiving the communication and literacy. That will depend on your situation. Some of you will still take it, some of you will waive it, but everyone is required, early childhood or elementary, to take the Foundations of Reading MTEL exam, which once again, we've really distinguished ourselves in the field of early literacy and literacy development and literacy instruction. So strong MTEL pass rates in that area. And then if you were seeking early childhood, you will take the early childhood MTEL exam. And then if you're seeking elementary, you'll be taking the general curriculum, which is broken into 2 subtests. So we think of it as 2 tests. There's the math, the STEM exam. So it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics. There's that subset. And then the other is history and ELA. That's it, Hannah. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. The practicum. A lot of people call it student teaching. The fancy word for it, though, is practicum. And what is it? It's that real on-the-ground experience that, once again, we give you lots of support. So you'll meet with me once a week via Zoom in a seminar, kind of working through your experience in the classroom, and more importantly, what's called the capstone, which is all of the paperwork and an e-binder that you need to submit to the state. So you get weekly support from me through the seminar to have everything ready for the state. And then on top of that, you have a program supervisor who's from the university who comes out and does observations, walks you through and supports you. And then you have your supervising practitioner who is the classroom teacher who is engaging with you every day. So you have 3 people creating this team of support. The practicum experience runs the full semester. It is a 16-week experience broken down differently. So for elementary, you stay in one classroom throughout the entire time. For early childhood, the state does ask that you do 12 weeks in a first or second grade, and then to end, you are 4 weeks in a kindergarten. You may be thinking to yourself, though, many of our students in our program are working and they go, oh, wait, I'm a paraprofessional in a first grade classroom. I can't switch. We understand that. And so we love to have students working in the classroom. We love to keep you employed. And so there are different waiver opportunities where we can have you staying in your place while completing the practicum. It's really for each person, we handle the situation uniquely. So we just try to understand what is your work placement? How can we make sure you're fulfilling all the elements of the practicum? And how can you successfully complete what's called the CAP? So when we have all those things in place, we allow you to stay in that placement. It isn't guaranteed, but we certainly do our best. I would say about 90%, if not higher, of our students are actually working while they complete their practicum experience. Hannah, I think we're ready for the next one. Great. So you will be getting licensed in the state of Massachusetts. Your practicum experience needs to be done within the state of Massachusetts. It can be in an early ed and care site that is using the Massachusetts curriculum frameworks and has licensed teachers who can supervise you. You can do it in a public school, a traditional public school. You may do it in a charter school. In some private schools, especially students who are working with students with disabilities, is also a placement that we can seek. However, if you notice, I didn't mention that you can complete your practicum in any other state. It must be done in the state of Massachusetts. Good news, though, say you're moving, we have reciprocity in many states, and that is even changing. It's very flexible and changing each day, actually, because there's such a workforce need in the field of education. And these are just some of the states. All New England states are recognizing the state of Massachusetts, and most states within the lower 48. So lots of opportunities there. Go ahead, Hannah. I believe I'll send it back to you, Hannah.
So at BayPath, we use Canvas, one of the most intuitive and user-friendly online learning platforms available. Every new student receives a free orientation course to help them feel confident navigating the systems from day one. Canvas can be accessed from a desktop, tablet, or mobile app, making it easy to stay connected and on track anytime, anywhere. The platform supports telecommunication and video capabilities, creating an interactive and engaging online learning experience. And if you ever need help, our dedicated online support team is always available to assist you. If you're ready to take the next step, here's what you need to know. Our programs offer rolling admissions, which means the sooner you apply and submit your materials, the sooner your application will be reviewed and the sooner you'll receive your decision. As part of the application process, we ask for official undergraduate and any graduate transcripts, a resume, a short statement of purpose, 2 professional recommendations, and any applicable MTEL result or teaching license. We have a preferred GPA of 3.0 or higher, but we review applications holistically and consider the full picture of your academic and professional experience. You can apply now. It's free, completely online, and designed to be quick and easy. Don't wait, get started today and take the next step towards your graduate degree at BayPath. Paying for graduate school can feel overwhelming, but at BayPath, our student financial services team is here to make the process as simple and as transparent as possible. You can connect with us by phone, email, or in person, whichever is most convenient for you. We also hold FAFSA Fridays where you can get live help completing your financial aid application. A great resource, especially if you're filing for the first time or need a little extra guidance. Federal Stafford loans are available to graduate students and most qualify for up to $20,500 per academic year. Once you've applied for aid, be sure to regularly check your Net Partner portal, our secure online platform where you can view award letters, submit documents, and stay up to date on your financial aid status. And for quick answers anytime, check out Financial Aid TV or FATV. It's a library of short 60-second videos that break down financial aid topics in a simple, approachable way. You can explore it anytime at baypath.financialaidtv.com. If you have additional questions about admissions, application requirements, or the enrollment process, please feel free to reach out to Hannah Shamgosian, Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions. For questions related to curriculum, licensure, practicum experiences, or program outcomes, Dr. Jennifer Stratton, Program Director, would be happy to connect with you as well. You can find both of our contact details on this slide, and we encourage you to reach out at any time. We look forward to supporting you as you explore your next steps in education. Before we wrap up, we'd like to take a moment to address some of the most frequently asked questions we receive from prospective students. How are BayPath's online classes set up? Are the courses synchronous, asynchronous, or both?
That's a great question, Hannah. They're both. About 80% of our classes are asynchronous in this program, and 20% will be synchronous, meaning those Zoom meetings. Zoom meetings typically take place Monday through Thursday after 6 p.m.
Will I be able to juggle coursework and a full-time job?
Absolutely. We love our graduate students working, even our undergrads. So yes, you'll be able to work full time, do the coursework, and what I suggest the most though is planning ahead, especially for those courses with the Zoom meetings.
How many hours per week do I need to set aside for each course?
That's a great question. I'd say about 4 to 6. It really depends on the content and how familiar you are with it. Some of the courses, like a literacy course where you're learning how to teach children to read, the content can be more challenging. And on top of it, there is the required MTEL exam, the Foundations of Reading. So when it's a course like that, I find that sometimes students want to put the more hours in so they really understand how to teach children to read and they're ready for that MTEL exam. But on average, 4 to 6 hours per course.
How accessible are the faculty?
Our faculty are extremely accessible. We love our students. And I'd say that is what I love most about BayPath is that we are very student centered and put the students first. So and when you send an email, you can usually expect to hear from your professor within 24 hours. They'll set up Zoom meetings with you at your convenience. So many of us host evening hours for our students. So the faculty's there and we want to see you succeed.
Can I complete my practicum where I work?
Yes, you can. I'd love to see that. It's best for your students typically and for you. So we do our best to support you in wherever your work placement is.
Does BayPath offer MTEL preparation?
Yes, we do. Lots of it. Many of our courses, like I mentioned, the literacy courses, we have an new early childhood course. Those are actually all directly aligned to the MTEL exams. So they really help you with the preparation while you're also completing the course. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, we have the MTEL coach who will meet one-on-one. And then we even have workshops that we've offered for in small group settings via Zoom with experts in the field to help prepare students for their MTEL exams. So lots of different ways to gain support.
What is the main difference between provisional, initial licensure, professional licensure, and non-licensure?
Hannah, that is a question I have to answer about every day. So, are you ready for it? Okay. So, provisional means that you've actually have your bachelor's, you've taken all the MTEL exams, and the state has said you've done enough to be prepared to teach currently, but you only within a certain amount of time 3 to 5 years, you have in a certain amount of time, they want you to continue on with your education, graduate studies, um, complete the practicum, and move on to initial licensure. So provisional means you're allowed to teach, but it's conditional. Initial means that you've completed the coursework that the state requires of a program that sponsors educators, and that you've completed that practicum and submitted the CAP to the state and been licensed by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education in Massachusetts. Once you complete that, you'll continue on. Being a teacher is a lifelong learning experience, so you'll continue doing professional development. One of the ways to do professional development is if you've earned an initial license at the bachelor level, you can come back for your master's and your professional license. A professional license is you have some experience in the classroom now, you're starting to realize that you have certain areas where you want to specialize in. So you want to dig deeper. You want to get more focus and dig deeper, and that you'll move and finish that graduate work. There's no practicum for the professional license. There's just the graduate work, and then your work within the classroom. Finally, non-licensure. So non-licensure is just that. You're not getting a license. You are choosing to work in settings where it's not necessarily needed, but you did want the deeper knowledge that's gained with a graduate program. What might be some of those spaces that you could, maybe you're in early education and care. So you're working in EEC environment and you don't need the license, but you definitely want to deepen your knowledge of early childhood education. You may be working in a private school setting and that is where you plan to stay. So once again, you want to deepen your knowledge of pedagogy or specific content areas, but you don't need the license. And finally, let's see, private schools. Maybe you want to teach or work in an educational setting such as a museum, a nature center, something once again where the license is not needed, but you do want the knowledge. So those are the different ways of being licensed or not licensed. I hope that explained everything for you, Hannah.
Thank you, Dr. Stratton, for answering some of our frequently asked questions. And thank you again for joining us for this recorded information session on the master's programs in early childhood education and elementary education at Bay Path University. We appreciate your interest in our programs and in pursuing a meaningful career in education. We hope today's session has given you valuable insight into the opportunities, support, and professional preparation available at Bay Path. If you have any additional questions, we encourage you to reach out to Hannah Shamgosian or Dr. Jennifer Stratton using the contact information provided. We would be happy to connect with you and support you throughout the admissions process. Thank you again for your time, and we look forward to the possibility of welcoming you to the Bay Path community.